Hi, welcome to the latest edition of Dan Talk. Today I'm going to be talking to you about sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is something hey PB, the world famous PB cat. Sleep apnea is something I've been suffering with for 20 or so years. What that is I snore and I saw logs when I snore. I am loud. Everyone's talked about it, who's ever slept in the same room with me. And they're like, Dan, turn over. Dan, you're snoring. Would you just do something about it? You can't sleep with your snoring. This is something that I have no idea, of course, that I'm snoring until people throw stuff at me, wake me up and tell me to turn over. Because what I do is I sleep on my back. And when I do that, I snore. Imagine your tongue going in the back of your throat. And that's what produces the snoring sound. And what that does is once your tongue starts to roll back in the back of your throat, it starts to cut off airway to your lungs. You start suffocating a little bit. You stop intaking all the air. Your nose alone can't bring in the airflow that your lungs and your brain needs. So slowly over time, this is me spitballing some medical advice to you, over time, you could develop Alzheimer's as you get older. You could have sleeping problems. You could have, this came straight from the VA. Sleep apnea hurts hearts by increasing the risk of heart failure, elevated blood pressure, atrial fibrillation, resistant hypertension, type 2 diabetes, and stroke. These are the things that sleep apnea can do. The precursor to that is if you snore, you may suffer from sleep apnea. I decided to go to the VA because I had to do something about my snoring. I'm waking people up. I'm getting things thrown at me, right? I get people mad at me on some of my deployments. Dan, shut up. I can't get any sleep because of you. I had to do something about it. I knew there's something health related. I didn't know what. So the VA set me straight. And what they did is I did a sleep study last year to see if I do have sleep apnea. And it came back positive. I do have sleep apnea. So I got one of these machines here and a mask. What this is a CPAP machine. I'm just going to read it straight from Google. CPAP means continuous positive airway pressure. It's a machine that uses mild air pressure to keep breathing airways open while you sleep. Now, what conditions require a CPAP? When sleep apnea is moderate or severe, continuous positive airway pressure is considered the first-line treatment and is recommended treatment by the American Academy of Sleep Machine. So, sleep apnea is no joke. It actually kills people. Reggie White, former defensive lineman for the Philadelphia Eagles and Green Bay Packers, after he's elected to the Hall of Fame, or before, I can't remember, he died of sleep apnea. People die of sleep apnea. People develop high blood pressure because of sleep apnea. People can't get enough sleep and they're always lethargic and tired the next day because of sleep apnea. People tend to have type 2 diabetes. I don't. I do have a little bit of elevated blood pressure, but that's about my only symptom so far. Continuous over time, could it lead to Alzheimer's? Be spitballing again? Sure it can. You're cutting off oxygen to the brain, and you do that enough, prolonged enough, you're starting to kill brain cells. And if you are a chronic snorer like me, I'm renowned for it. You may want to get it checked out and do a sleep study. Now, let me just go over the CPAP machine. Fully automated, has automated features. It needs humidity so you can breathe better at night, so you got to put distilled water in here. And it's pretty simple to use. All you do is turn it on. And it's shooting out air right now. You can adjust the airflow and the humidity. There's several different kinds of masks. One just goes over the nose, one goes over the mouth, one goes over both. So they asked me, what kind of mask do you want? I'm like, I don't know. I want the maximum airflow, so I want air going up my nose and in my mouth. So I picked out this one, and this one fits pretty good and is actually very comfortable to sleep in. And this is how it gets put on. Strap it in, you adjust it, and that's all you got to do. And you're breathing in air. Now, what the sleep apnea machine can detect is when you need elevated airflow. Did not turn this off all the way. You can tell right now, there are certain situations that pumps out more air. So it detects sleeping patterns. It detects when there's an event where you need more airflow. I've waken up sometimes and the air is just gushing in my face. Like it feels like a tornado. I'm in the midst of hardcore sleep apnea and my body needs oxygen. And this machine detects it and gives me the amount of oxygen it thinks it needs, or the maximum amount. And I've been using it for several months, and I can tell you, every morning, every night that I use it, when I wake up in the morning, I feel so much better. It's small, it's light, and I travel with it everywhere I go. I bring this thing because why not? It's my health that's on the line. Remember, sleep apnea can kill people. At the very least, remember what it does. Heart failure, higher blood pressure. It's bad for your heart with fibrillation, hypertension, diabetes, and stroke. So people, males, females, whatever age you are, if you snore, you may suffer from sleep apnea. Get it checked out. It could save your life. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. Please subscribe to my YouTube page. Thank you.